Hey my friend, welcome to a new chordal lesson. Today we are going to explore some tunings that have been used by the band Coldplay. And you don't have to be the biggest fan of Coldplay to use that and find some cool chords. So those tunings allow us to play some simple chords but make them sound richer with open strings. So the easiest one to do is just to take your top string, which is usually an E note, and tune it down a half step to D sharp. So it has to match the note on the 4th fret of your 2nd string. Like this. And since now your two top strings are B and D sharp, it creates a B major chord just by itself. B major triad. So if we play in the key of B major, that's gonna sound super great. And this is a tuning that's been used a lot in a lot of the songs of their first album, Parachutes. So for example, their hit Yellow, they start with a B major chord bar like this, but they lift the index so that we can hear and let ring the top 2 strings. So it just does a regular B major chord, but in another way. And they even play it most often with the thumb on top like this, so that they can reach the sus4. And that's what happens in Yellow. My pinky plays the sus4 here. But this is just a plain B major chord. If we try it elsewhere in the key of B major, we can have some more spicy extensions. So for example, if I play just an E major open chord like this, because of the D sharp, that's gonna create an E major 7 chord. Because of that little note here. If I play a F sharp major, but I lift, once again, my index, it's gonna create an 11th and a 13 extension. Oh, wow. If you do this on A major too, that's gonna create a sharp 11 friction. And another that I really like is to play the C sharp minor chord, but now it's trickier because if you lift your finger, you're not going to play the note on the 3rd string, so you have to twist your fingers and reach it with your middle finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. So it does a beautiful C sharp minor 9. So just with these chords here, you can already experiment and find some cool sounds with it. And I just thought for that C sharp minor, you could use your thumb, like I said a few minutes ago. You could play it like this, and it sounds much more comfortable with the thumb here on the 9th fret of the 6th string. So that's an alternative. So that's been used a lot in the album Parachutes. But another tuning that I like even more than this one is actually to tune your top string even lower down to C. So now it has to match the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Like that, you can listen to the waves and tune it while you play both at the same time, while fretting the 1st fret on the 2nd string. Right? So now the top note is the note C. So if we play in the key of C major, that's always going to work, right? Or in A minor too, because that's the relative minor key to C major. And this is a trick that I learned from my friend Jimmy Lahaie a few months ago. So he just started his channel. He's an outstanding guitar player, so I put his channel in the description box. That would be nice if you subscribe to him. So if we play in the key of C major, we are going to get some great chords with the open top string always. So if I play, sometimes that's hard to have the tuning exactly like you want it. And it does a nice friction between the B and the first string. That's not an E string anymore, that's a C string. And we can take that friction to our advantage. So if we play C, that sounds plain because we double the same note here on the top. So what I like to do is to play the 3rd fret instead with my pinky. So my pinky is on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and now it creates an additional friction, an 11th added in the... No, that's actually a 9th, right? So if we go through the whole chords of a C major harmonization, we have this one, which I like to play like this, with a 9th. Then we have the D chord, which sounds great with the open 1st string. Then we have E, super spicy with an added minor 6th. Then we have F, that if we open it like this, super spicy too, I really like it. Then we have G, so it sounds suspended like a sus4. Then we would have A minor, which once again, like the C, it's plain because we double the same notes. So what I could do is once again play the 3rd fret. On the 2nd string. And in that case, that would create an 11th extension. And the last one would be a B diminished, which sounds great too. So you have all of these chords. That you can use in the key of C major or A minor, and they're gonna sound so good. So this is a problem I have with the song A Rush of Blood to the Head, which is the 2nd album. It's the title track, and the 1st chord is actually an A minor, but they just play it plain like this. And then they play a C major. Yeah, they double the 5th at the end, at the bottom, so it sounds huge. But it's the same problem. There is no color in this. This is a missed opportunity. And then they play an E minor chord, which is super spicy because of that added minor 6th. But then they come back on the A minor like this. So what I would have done if I were them in that case with that tuning, I would take advantage of that. So I would play my A minor chord like this at the beginning with the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Then I would keep that note for the C chord too. Sounds better that way to me, richer. Then I would use the E minor because it's already very spicy. And on the last A minor chord, on the 4th chord, I would make a variation, and instead of using the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, I would use an open string that would make a beautiful added 9th in it. So let's compare the versions. This is the original version of A Rush of Blood to the Head. And that would be a version with spicier chords. Sounds good. So this is what you can experiment with. In my case, I made a song a few days ago, an ambient guitar song, and I used this tuning here in the key of C major. It sounded like this. It's super good to use what we call spread triads like this because we can leave the first and the third strings open, and it makes the notes C and G, which are the root and the fifth of our C major key. So everything we're playing, it's gonna sound really, really good to use that. So if you're thinking, what are those spread triad chords? I wanna know what they are. This is exactly what I teach in my free mini course on ambient guitar chords. I'm showing you the spread triad shapes like these one, and I'm showing you to harmonize them in the key of C major. So you could learn exactly that on the whole fretboard. And then you would just have to tune your first string down to C and you could play those beautiful chords. So if this is something you would like to learn, click on the first link in the description box and enroll in my free course. Now this is my gift to you. So I hope this was helpful to you. You could try to tune your top string down to D sharp or C or any other note and try to play in different keys. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to enroll in my free course by clicking in the description box. And until next time, au revoir.